Let's talk about compost. No, we're not actually going to be talking about compost today. I mean, maybe a little bit. But let's talk about the recipe to rich. I feel like all over the internet, and I had to even get off some social media channels because it's just all over the place. I can't get away from it no matter how much I groom my feed, is talking about how to get rich fast. And it's always in a monetized manner. Now, does having some money help things out? Of course, because like you can pay for services, you can pay for third-party help. Certainly there's a sweet spot of financial growth. But really at the end of the day, what is the recipe to rich? And that's what brings me to the compost pile, because it's not one way, it's not one thing, it's a mixture of things that make it rich. Last year was my first successful year of a huge compost harvest. I was able to fill all my beds with this really rich, dark compost. And it's because all year long I was adding to it. I was adding dead things like leaves and um, old dried out plants. I was adding sticks that were decomposing. And then I was adding the fresh stuff like our chicken eggshells after we use them, all that fruit, banana peels, onions, apples, bell peppers, all that fresh stuff in there. And all year long, I'm just adding it, right? It's not complicated. I don't have a fancy system. It's just some old pellets that I grabbed. And it provided for the next year garden season this rich compost soil, not store-bought, straight from the leaves and sticks and leftover produce from the house, right into this square container. And what I find interesting is when you look at all these things in an individual manner, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how this thing can turn into this rich soil. But when you look at the recipe of it, it makes sense. It feeds the bugs that sift around and eat and poop out and sift through all this to make the compost that will be the rich soil that makes our food in the future. And so when you look at how you're approaching your growth journey and the things that feed your mind, body, and soul, what is your recipe to rich? Because a little thing here and a little thing there and a little ad there throughout the year actually can end up to be some of the richest soil that you depend on for growth. So what will be your little things? For example, my little things is I don't need to have a complete overhaul journal session. I don't need an hour of meditation. For my lifestyle and my specific recipe, I will do 15 minutes. 15 minutes of just space, of just no stimulation, sitting outside, listening to the grasshoppers and the outdoor sounds. I will do one journal prompt when I'm feeling glum in the morning to help me kind of reset myself. I listen to my gut, and if it's telling me like, hey, you've been eating too much crap lately, I reset that same day. So I do these little ingredients throughout my days, not a big overhaul, not a big transformation. And that's my recipe to rich. That's where I feel the most energized. And I think sometimes just again with our environment and on social media, it's these complete transformational overhauls. And for most of us, we're working. For most of us, we have to show up at home. So to do a complete overhaul like that is just not sustainable, and it's not integrated in our type of lifestyles. So take a little bit of a lesson from a compost system is that there is a recipe to rich, and you need some more volume than other things. But what is going to be your recipe? What's your little things that you're going to add that turns just dirt and leftover scrap food into this rich soil that feeds so much more? It's in these daily patterns that we do that either feeds the energy or it drains it.